Okay. This is a test. We're printing with a giant Bondtech CHT nozzle. It's a 1.8 millimeter nozzle, and I'm printing it at 1.6 millimeter layer height. I've got the filament in the background so we can see how, so we can see how fast it spools, because it's crazy how fast it's pulling. So this is a flint vase by Devin Montes of Make Anything. All right, and while it's laying down the base lines, let me show you. These are the Bondtech CHT nozzles. They come in 0.4 all the way up to 1.8 millimeters, which is bigger than the diameter of the filament at 1.75. They look like this on the back. You can see that there are 3 holes instead of 1, and there's a little triangular bit. So what it does is, as the filament is heated, it forces it into 3 different channels, and so much more heat can be distributed. I'm printing this at 205 degrees, which is right in there. This is Filamentum Ice Blue PLA Crystal Clear. And I'm moving it slowly because I want to give it time to dry. Time to harden and not sag. So I've done a few of these. There's not been a problem. We shall see. If you're interested in getting the CHT nozzles, you can go to Bondtech's site directly. If you're in the US or other regions, you can also look for other people that are reselling it. For instance, I got mine from Philistruder, and I got it there because you could get the whole set. A lot of places will sell 1 nozzle. They are a little more expensive. For instance, this is, 1.8 millimeter. I know, it's crazy, right? I wanted to get the whole set, but a lot of places will sell individual nozzles, and they're about $20 each, but I can't foresee a 1.8 millimeter nozzle getting clogged. You can just unclog it with like a toothpick. So we'll see how this goes. I've done some others before, but I've done it at 1.5 millimeter, not 1.6. Okay, so it's gonna finish the base. This is a 54-minute print total. And I need to see how much filament it's gonna use. Hold on. Okay, it's going to use about 100 grams, it estimates. So we'll see also if it's watertight. A typical vase mode print has multiple layers. Hello from the Netherlands. Thank you so much. Yeah, the nozzle diameter is just crazy. I've done some 1.5s, not 1.6. We'll see how it goes. I know, right? What do you need to clog a 1.8 millimeter nozzle? I have no idea. The print's going to take about 54 minutes. And I've been testing out different temperatures. So what's amazing about this is from a volumetric flow standpoint, so much filament is being delivered at once, and yet we're only at 205 degrees with a 1.8 millimeter nozzle. So I'm using this vase mode of Devon's because it's mostly straight up. I've done a couple where there have been some different angles, and I want to make sure that we don't have it drooping and hanging. But it looks like candy with this Filamentum crystal clear ice blue. doing okay, but not how I would have expected it. All right, wait, there's a question. Holding water. So vase modes are typically notorious for having a hard time holding water. It's the connection, let me turn this down. It's the connection from where the base layers are connecting in the corners and the sides typically. I've had very little luck with getting vase modes to be watertight. I am doing 3 layers on this, and I was hoping we could see if it would be watertight, but it's not, like it's drooping there. So do I need to move faster? Let's change the nozzle temperature. I'm gonna increase the nozzle temperature. We might be too low in temp. I have a different printer. Before I got the CHT nozzle, I did a lot with a 1.0 millimeter nozzle, and I did have some success getting it. But I guess the best thing I would suggest is do more bottom layers because you have a better chance there. Bigger layers overall. Let's see if this fixes it. I think this might be better. Yeah, that's better. It was too low in temperature. Yeah, it's gonna have to catch back up. So I increased the temperature to 210. Oops, sorry, I just knocked it. And you can see that this is fallen down. So we're gonna have to do some recovery. At the 1.5 millimeter layer height, I didn't have this problem. In fact, I was printing at 200 degrees, but 1.6 millimeters is a significantly larger layer height. Yeah, because it's going way out and having to come back. Okay, so we've got catch up to do. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, the nozzle's high. It's high because it's had some droop. So this is actually back. So look at it as it comes up here where it hasn't had droop, and it's at about the right spot. And then here, because it's drooped out. So we'll see if it, yeah, so there it's really high because it's drooped out. I did print this at where's my 1.5 millimeter? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So I'm gonna pull this in, and I've printed it with success, but I had slightly different settings. So, oh yeah, that's like way out of the way. All right, we'll see if it catches up. And then, there are also 4 of these flint bases, so this might be one that is, no, I mean, it's fine now. I should have had it at a higher temperature. Yeah, it's too high. So it's too high because it's drooped way out over here. But when you get, like, the one place that hasn't drooped is this corner here. Should I stop it and restart it? I'll make it prep the file, and I'll just restart it real fast. All right, let's stop this. I'm gonna stop this. I will put this one here, and it'll look like it's printing, but it's not. And then I'm gonna restart it. Slightly different. All right, let's see if it'll let me just restart. Woo, it knocked it, but not all the way. All right, let's come take this off. Look at that, interesting. Okay, so let me restart it. I'm gonna do 1.5 millimeters, so the label will be wrong. All right, let's try this. At 1.5 millimeter, my title will be a lie. Okay. So yeah, it was doing significant drooping out here, coming out. And while that gets ready to move, let me show you some of the other stuff. I'm gonna back out for a little bit. Back out. So this was really interesting. I still have to back out, my goodness. So this was interesting. This is one of the co-extrusion filaments, and this is at 1.5 millimeter layer height, but it's green until it gets to the raspberry. And this printed really well and quite well. This one of Devon's, don't fall, also did really well. So we're gonna see what these different settings do, because this was drooping badly, which is why the nozzle was so high. Although I'm amazed at how clear this comes out. It's just pretty. If there's chat going on, I'm missing it. So I also did a 200% benchy, which was interesting, on it in Cookie CAD Unicorn. And then I thought, let's go 300%. And again, this is at 1.5 millimeter layer height, which was cool. Again, in Cookie CAD Unicorn. All right, let's see, here it goes. All right, now, let's see if this is better at 1.5 millimeter layer height. Oh, it's got a glob on it. Let's push that to the outside. All right, I'm gonna bring us back in. Hope I don't make you all nauseated here. The reason I put this nozzle on the Mini is because it's really easy to see the nozzle in comparison to the Mark III that I have. And so I thought I'd get in here. All right, let's see if we can get there for some layers. Yeah, this is looking a little better. It was just so, it was too high up. All right, we're gonna let this run for a little bit. Let me check comments. I like that. Learn, repeat, restart, learn, repeat. I mean, it's on at 100%. Let's see, oops, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, it's at max. Once it starts spinning around, let's see how it goes. the filament, why does it move sideways? It's actually feeding from around back and it's going over to the left into a feed. It technically really probably shouldn't be here, but it's so interesting to see how fast the filament move. Like, I've never seen a roll move that fast before, so I put it behind the printer so we could see it. All right, we're getting ready to find out if it works. This is looking much better. Okay, so the title says it's 1.6 millimeter layer height. It actually is not. It's 1.5 millimeter. I've done some 1.6. I mean 1.5, and I was like, oh, let's go 1.6. So what this is the Bondtech CHT nozzle, the core heating technology nozzle, which is interesting. It is a straight swap out for an E3D. If you have an E3D like V6, so if you also have the 6 millimeter threads. So I put this on the Mini because I could just unscrew the 0.4 millimeter nozzle and put this one on. So that was just an easy thing to do. Now they're expensive, they're about $20 each. They come in a different collection of sizes. You can get it from Bondtech direct. I found in the US Philistruder they had the set, and there are a lot of places also that sell individual nozzles. So it's a $20 nozzle about. However, I don't think it's going to get clogged where you can't unclog it. So I thought it was worth it. And besides, this is so much fun to do. So this is the set. I'm going to pop this in real fast. It starts with 0.6 and goes up to 1.8. You can get a 0.4. Let me flip this around real quick and show what the nozzle looks like. You can see it's different because it's got 3 holes in the back, and there is a little sort of a thing in the center, if you can see it. They've drilled 3 holes in there very precisely, and as the filament comes down, it splits it into 3 segments. And in doing that, they can get far more heating to the filament. So this is at 210 degrees, and I am moving slowly. but 210 degrees, but the volumetric flow in comparison to a 0.4 millimeter nozzle is huge. I run a 1.0 millimeter nozzle a lot, and I have to go much higher than the recommended temperature just to get it properly melted. So this is amazing. I'm really, really loving these nozzles. Well, at least the one I've tried so far. This is Devin Monte's flint vase. And one of the 4 is free to download on my manufacturer. I know it might be other places too. And this is Filamentum's Crystal Clear Ice Blue PLA. So, and this is just, I just love this. So I'm not commercialing or anything. I bought all of this myself. I just love this nozzle. I'm trying to figure out what else I can do with it. Yeah, it consumes filament like there's no tomorrow. How much is it consuming in dollars per minute? I am not really good at calculating that. So this is going to be about 100 grams, a little over 100 grams. So it'll be 1/10 of a kilo. So that would be whatever the kilo would cost. And Filamentum is a little more expensive than other stuff. I did this, hold on, I'll get a little bit in here. I did this. Oh, wait, you can't even see it. I'll put it behind. I did this 300% benchy, and that's so hard to see, this 300% benchy, and it used close to 400 grams. So that was, what, 4/10 of a spool? And it's heavy. I think I could have gotten away with less infill, but I wasn't sure how much was needed to support it. I'm amazed at how clear this is. Yes. Okay, that's a good point. You know what? I'm in Spruce Slicer. I have never done that. That's such a great idea for Spruce Slicer. Oh, that's such a great idea. Okay, I'm back. If the Filamentum order cost $40 with shipping, and I didn't actually look it up, this is, and it's a 750 gram spool, this little vase will cost $3.49, $3.49. Okay, hold on. Spool weight. We're going in here. Oh yeah, 750. You know what? Okay. All right. It's saying, in that case, it's saying $4.65. But I put in the actual cost of the, I think it's $40. I'm trying to remember where I got this. You know what? I've never played with that. I have a lot of people that'll say something. But what's great about that is knowing if you have enough left to do your print. And I have one friend who has been writing down the spool weight of all his spools when he finishes them. So he knows if it's, for instance, a Printer or a polyalchemy or polyterra spool, so that he can do just that. This is so pretty. Yeah. And I've been doing a lot with Super Slicer as well, because there's just a bunch of fun features in there. We're gonna have to move up. We're gonna move up. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can do this without making you all sick. I'll move up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. I have had to make a slight modification to Devin's vase. I hope he doesn't mind. I am having to print it at 92% in height in order to fit it in the print volume here, for the build volume for the Prusa. Well, hello, Stephen Poole. Yeah, this is, it says on the title that it's 1.6 millimeter layer heights. It actually is 1.5. I was trying it at 1.6 and it did not work. I've been doing a bunch of prints with 1.5 millimeter layer height and those seem to work fine. It probably was a temperature issue too, so I'm gonna mess around with it. So if you're here, you might have seen this already. This is the Bondtech CHT nozzle, which is the core heating technology. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in getting these and want to know more, Stefan Herrmann of CNC Kitchen YouTube has an excellent video where he just completely breaks it down, including destroying one so that he can understand it. So they're expensive for nozzles. They're $20 each, but I think for the 1.8 millimeter at least, you're not going to get a nozzle clog that you can't clean out because it's bigger than the diameter of the filament. So here is, I'm going to bring this up in here. Here's the set that I got, which is 0.6 all the way up to 1.8. And you can buy them individually. You can get them from Bondtech Direct, or they have resellers around the world. So I got it from Philistruder in the US because I wanted, they had the whole set. So let me flip it over here and see if you can see what's happening here. So this is the front of the nozzle. We're gonna go to the back and look, whoop, whoop, and look, and you can see all the way through it. It's 3 channels that they very accurately drilled, and they've left a little thing in the middle with a point, oh, that's not focused, with a pointy tip. And so as the filament starts to melt, it gets cut into 3 pieces, and because the nozzle is hot, they have a whole lot more surface area to give heat to the filament, which is why, even though I'm printing slow, I think we could speed this up I think we could speed it up by a good bit. But I'm printing this at 210 degrees, and for this much volumetric flow, it's really amazing. I just love to look at the filament coming out. I want to see if we let's see if we can zoom in for a little bit. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna make you all dizzy. Let's see if we can get, I'm so sorry. I hate doing that deal. There we go, there we go. Oh, Courtney cannot control the camera. So it's still a little high there. It'll be high at certain points because it is drooping down, and sometimes it'll catch up. Like, look, it's gonna be really high right there because of droop. Come on. But then it'll be about the right spot in a little bit. Okay. Let's get, I'm gonna keep us sort of zoomed in so we can watch. And hold tight for just a second. I need to raise this up again. Yeah, it's definitely expensive for a nozzle because it's more than like a single hardened nozzle. But I really wanted to try it because it just looked like so much fun. And I love vase mode. I mean, I love vase mode, but I just don't need that many vases. So I find victims to give them to. Water tightness, this is really big and fat, but without multiple layers on the bottom, you're not gonna have a lot of hope. And even so, the point I found where it transitions from doing your base layers to moving into the vase mode perimetering, I don't know if that's the word, perimetering, there's a little hole that's left there. It's just not perfect, but that could be easily patched up. And then someone who likes flowers or other things for vases could use it. Whoa, ironing. That's such a cool idea. Okay, ironing. I gotta come up. Yeah, CNC Kitchen is one of my favorite channels. Everything he puts out, when he has a video come out and I see it pop up on my phone, I'm like, excuse me, I'll be back. I have a video to go watch. All of his stuff is so great. I tell people it's like deep dives into stuff. Yeah, he's great. It's not going to print perfect. There's some spots here where it just is not going to transition well with the, I went through and looked at which one had the most kind layer changes. Like I have one, wait, let me back out. Let me back out. Okay. I have this model, I'm going to pull you back here. This model here, I'm going to pull you way back, way back. So this model is at 1.5 millimeter layer heights, and because the angles were really nice and planes, it just printed it perfectly. And this is in the co-extrusion filament, which it's kind of neat that even though it's a Bowden tube, it kept the color the same the whole way, which I think is pretty neat. This is the one, I did this one in the clear, and it's just so clear, but it's clear because they're just fewer layers. I'll show you my favorite vase. So this was the first one. Oop, this is the first one that I did, which is again co-extrusion, purple to yellow. But I think my favorite vase so far, this one, then I'll get you back to the print at hand, is this is the open source logo, and somebody extruded it and turned it into a vase. And this is in Jessie PLA red ice. And it's just, I mean, it looks like candy. I can't give this one away. I like this one too much. I might have to find flowers someday. All right, let's go back. Let's go back forward. I'm trying to move you all carefully. All right, and we're gonna move up. So sorry. Okay. Let's leave it like that. He's gone out to, I don't know, he's gone out. So I'm here with the children. But I've shut the door. So I might be left alone. So, first layer patterns. Oh my gosh, I have to take notes. That's a great idea. Hold on, where's my note stack? Whoa, that's such a cool idea. I have some PETG I want to do some stuff with, but I have not actually PID tuned this thing. Wow, that's such a great idea. Okay, wait, let me go back up. The temperature right now I'm running is 210, although I've run this as low as 200. The big benchy I did was at 200 the whole time. First layer patterns, man. That is such a great idea. I have to take a note, I'll forget. I have my 0.4 millimeter nozzle sitting over on the side, but I don't know if I'm ever putting it back on. Okay, so this is, if you joined us, this is the Bondtech CHT 1.8 millimeter nozzle. I do think they sell them for 2.85 millimeter filament, but I actually didn't look. I don't have a 2.85 printer. So layer height is 1.5 millimeter. It says 1.6 in the title for this, but when we started with 1.6, I'm not sure if it was temperature issues or what, but it was not going well. It had a lot of droop. So I dropped it back to 1.5, which is such a terribly small layer height. This is Filamentum's Crystal Clear Ice Blue, and this is Devin Monte's Flint Base, which is free to download on My Mini Factory. So the CHT nozzles they have a opening, it's drilled 3 times in the backside of it, so as the filament comes in, it splits it into 3 sections, and it can get a lot more heating to it. So this is a lot of volumetric flow coming out. I think I can print faster, but this looks so pretty. I'm gonna let it run. And Stefan Herman of CNC Kitchen on YouTube has this crazy, amazing video where he breaks this whole thing down. And the filament on a Prusa Mini is not actually supposed to be behind it, but I wanted to see how fast the filament was moving in the video, so I put it back there because I've never seen this spool move so fast. That's a good, you know what? That's a good idea about the quantum. Like at a certain interval, switch it. I wonder. Probably be easier to do on like a direct drive. I could just take yeah, it might be easier on a direct drive. I think I could visually see, because when I line it up on a direct drive, I make sure that it's vertical half and half, which works well with the way the filament is spliced. That's just cool stuff. I've done a video or 2 on it. There is a company, G&V TNTP, which is hard to say, but they have these 4-packs of filaments, which are nice, they're fine. But I was looking, and they have a 4-pack of co-extrusion filaments, a quarter kilo each. I think it's $40, like the rest of them. But it's on Amazon. It shows coming in February, but he said it's coming out earlier than that when I messaged him and said, I was going to buy it, but I see February. And he said, no, it should be very soon. So I'm interested because they're different colors than the other co-extrusions. The other co-extrusions, if you've seen them, mostly are the same colors from the same company, or from different companies. It's all the same filament. It's good filament. These big companies are putting their names behind it, and so they trust the quality, and it is good stuff, although it's more expensive than a regular roll. In Europe, you can get it from 3D Jake, Redline, Plastics, the Netherlands, and Form Futura. I know those 4 carry it. In the US, the only one I've seen is Matter Hackers, and they seem to have some additional colors I haven't seen show up on the European sites yet. And speaking, hold on, one thing. it's making creaking noises. It's the path the filament's coming. I don't think it's, let me see if I can use the path. I don't think it's got, yeah, it's not skipping steps. I had one skip steps last night, and it's definitely a different sound. So now it's coming in over here, and it's going to have some air gaps in here just because of the angle change. Yeah, the Netherlands has, like, I mean, they have a lot of filament companies that are great, like Plastics with a Z, Tiamat, Halo 3D. Actually, I have not done much with Tiamat, but I really want to try that out. Halo 3D, love their filament. They only have like 5 filaments, or 6, but they're all great. Form Futura. There's more that's not coming to mind. Plastics has a lot of options. They've got a lot of good stuff. The clicking noise again. The clicking noise. If the clicking noise goes away. Yeah, it's just a filament. We have to move up. We have to move up again. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
They're pretty.
I know. I love this. I was told to tell you to buy me flowers to put in my new vase.
Is that so?
I know. Off you go.
Should I tell them that you kill all the flowers?
I know, I'm terrible with plants. Flowers, I know. Maybe he's not getting me good enough flowers. He's left. He's left again. That's okay. Oh wait, somebody said something about the palette. Hold on. Oh man, wouldn't that be great if the palette could splice like that? Yeah. I still have a palette, and I'm going to back out in just a minute. I still have a palette 3 review that I need to get out. I keep learning new things about it. I mean, I have heard people are having not great success with the palette 3. I'm having pretty good success with it. The stuff that's failing is my fault. Like, I didn't tune the filament well. There are, if you're interested in the palette 3, there are limitations to it that they did not release everything yet. They didn't have everything fully developed like some of the software. But, and some people said, you know, hey, it shouldn't have been released. I would rather have it not fully functional so that I can mess around with it and do stuff. But that's just me. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The palette 2 I had a lot of frustration with, but the palette 3 is pretty rock solid. I heard a mommy. I might get mommied in a minute. No, it's at, the cooling fan's at 100%. It's just a lot of filament coming in. That's one of the things is what temperature to run at. I ran a 300% benchy yesterday at 200 degrees. This I'm running at 210, and it might need to be a little less. It seems to be working, and I kind of don't want to mess with it. But it's that figuring out what temperature. I mean, I'm leaving cooling 100% all the time because it's PLA. But what temperature and speed, I was able to, this is at 35 millimeters per second, I think. I was running at 45 for some tests the other day, and it did fine, but it really is dependent on what the model is. I have work to do, but all I want to do right now is go look at first layer patterns. That's such a fun idea. I didn't even bother re-leveling it when I changed nozzles. I just changed the first level height that the filament was coming out at because it's so much filament that it just sort of squishes. I just upped it by, let's see, I was doing 0.2 millimeter layer height And when I went to 1.5, I just upped it by 1.3. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. This is a Prusa Mini, and the reason I put the nozzle on here, this is the Bondtech CHT 1.8 millimeter nozzle, and the title of this is incorrect. It says 1.6 millimeter layer height. We started out doing that, and the 1.6 did not do too well. I have a feeling it was speed or temperature that was causing it, but 1.6 is significantly more filament than 1.5. Oh, that one just drooped in. Yeah, that didn't bridge well. That must be coming in. That drooped a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a helping hand. There we go. There we go. It'll be fine. I lost my train of thought. Oh dear. Oh yeah, but the Prusa Mini, the nozzle is really easy to see, and so debating on putting that on a Mark III. I could help this one. Okay, maybe because it's doing that, let's drop temperature to, let's see what happens if we drop it to 200. Go back up. Yeah, it's pretty hot because it's not dry. I'm sorry, I'm cheating, I'm helping the model. So let's drop it to 200 and see how that does. I'm gonna help again, and then we'll see if it catches up next layer. But this is drooping badly. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. All right, try this one. You can do it. I'm gonna send Devin a picture of this. That's better. That caught it halfway. Is it cheating if you help your print in the middle? It was pretty hot. Okay, so now we're at 1.5 millimeter layer height with better 200% temperature. Much better. Oh, we're way below. Wasn't paying attention. We have to move up. We have to move up. Hold on. I'm just gonna raise it like this. Sorry. Let me back out just to show you. Hello, finger. Oh my gosh. Why is it not letting me move back? Am I all the way back out? I cannot be all the way back out. Okay, so this is what we're doing. It is a flint vase by Devin Montes. It's free to download on mymanufactory.com, and this is the title's a little bit incorrect. It's a 1.5 millimeter layer height using a Bondtech CHT 1.8 millimeter nozzle. And the filament is Filamentum's PLA Crystal Clear Blue. All right, but now I'm gonna come back in so we can see it, because that's my favorite part. So these Bondtech nozzles, which are great, I got it from a reseller, Philistruder in the US, and I got a set of them. You didn't go, no, help, cheating. So you can get it from Bondtech direct. They're probably resellers all around. This is what, I'm gonna sneak in here. This is what the set looks like. There is a 0.4, but it goes 0.6 all the way up to 1.8. And if you flip it over, it's a standard E3D nozzle size. You can swap them out, but you can see how it's got 3 holes here, and it's got a little triangular piece. They drill 3 holes that later will come to the 1, and they've left this little triangular piece in the center, so it splices the filament into 3 sections, and it's just got so much more surface area to heat the filament that you can do something like print this vase with huge layer heights at 200 degrees. I can see where I changed the temperature here, definitely. Can we go back? We're getting close to the end. It does look a little bit, there's something that's changed about it. We've done most of the transition shift, the Z height, or sorry, the X or Y transition change. Oh my gosh, thank you. I will tell you, I got this because of Stefan Herrmann. Somebody else in the channel said that. He has a YouTube channel, CNC Kitchen, if you haven't heard of him. He's got the most amazing videos on pretty much all kinds of things. Oh, do you want to see him again? I'll show him in a minute. Although we're getting close to the end. But yeah, he has an amazing video where he showed, and he's got great close-up photography, and he does a scientific, like the scientific method of trying to figure out why they work so well, and you know how it compares to other high-temperature nozzles. And then he drilled one out to see if he could do a test to find out if it needed the little triangular bit in the middle and what his results are of that. And I love his stuff. Every one of his videos is just usually something I didn't even think about with 3D printing. Like for instance, when he was doing the, you know, the printing the frames for the face shields was something that a lot of people were helping out in the 3D printing world. He said, you know, he wanted to help, but how could he do it quickly, and how could he do a lot of them? And so he stacked them so he could get like a bunch done at the same time. And I was like, that's just genius, right? Anyway. Okay, here we go. This is good. I'm rambling. It's like my thing. No, that's a good idea. Actually, it says 1.6 millimeter layer height. This is 1.5. 1.6 was not going so well, and I've done a good bit with 1.5, but the 1.6 was either the temperature I had was too low or too high. So this is at 210 degrees right now. There's a little section here in the middle that was doing some layer transition that I bumped it back up to 210. But that would be interesting to see what it looked like. I was trying to get as big layers as possible because the fewer layers you have, the more you can see through this amazing Filamentum PLA crystal clear. I did some in just the crystal clear without the color in it yesterday. I'll show that when this is done. This should be almost done. almost off screen. I didn't want to move the screen. All right, wow, that's very close up. All right, let's back this out. And let's back the phone up. I'm gonna take it out of its little caddy here so we can look around. Okay. So this was, make sure I'm zoomed out. Ugh, that was the wrong way. So this is, there we go. It does have 3 layers on the bottom. I'm still really impressed with this. So Bondtech CHT nozzle. I mean, I'm so excited about this nozzle. It did have some problems here. It had some yesterday, so this is the crystal clear. It's a different one of those 4 vases. And it did a pretty good job. It still had some issues. Whoop, hold on, I missed that. I'm serious. I was not going to get one, and then when I realized it was just a simple nozzle swap out, I got them because I thought, well, I can do it. And I put it on the Prusa Mini because it's just you can see the nozzle really easily. So if you jumped in sort of towards the end, this is the set of CHT nozzles that they sell. You can get them from Bondtech, or you can get them from resellers. You can get individuals. So I got this from Phyllis Struder in the U.S. because I wanted the whole set. They are not cheap. They're $20 a piece. But I do think they live up to the hype. So here's what they look like, right? It's got 3 holes. I'm gonna try not to shake this. 3 holes, and if I can get this, and a little triangle in the middle. So it just divides the filament up and has so much more melting power. So let's see, I did this in the co-extrusion filaments. Oh my gosh, the hairy lion. It could do the hairy lion so fast. I'll have to look that up. This one was really interesting. I've got some others I've got to grab from another spot because this is the co-extrusion filament, and it really held true, even though the Prusa Mini is a Bowden drive, so it didn't mess it up. I put the filament in the back there. It's not supposed to be in the back, so it was dragging around the corner. This is my favorite one. So it is Jessie PLA Red Ice, and it is the open source logo that someone took and extruded into a vase, which is pretty cool. All right, hold on. Let me grab 2 more things. I'll probably block the mic. So I did a 200% Benchy in Cookie Cad's Unicorn, and that was sort of a test, but it just so little resolution on it, so I could fit a 300% on. Hold on, I gotta bend around the corner. I'm sorry, I'm taking you guys for a ride. The good news is they're sturdy, so normal vase mode, that would have broken. All right, so here is a 300% Benchy, which is not bad. I mean, it had some issues like the cooling on the front, you can see. This side was fine, that side not so much. The bridging, gosh, I'm sorry, I hope I don't make you all sick. The bridging was pretty good, and oh gosh. I'm sorry, I should have left it in this clamp. I thought the smokestack wasn't bad. I mean, look at the little lines here when it connects. It has certain troubles with certain things. Like this wasn't good, but I think that's just how the layers changed. So overall, I am really impressed with it, and I had to go straight for the 1.8 millimeter. So if you all have made comments, I haven't seen them. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold this and not like jostle it around too much. So I need to go back. There were some great ideas here. There we go. I'll leave you all with that. Let me see what the comments were. I'll leave the boat there. Decreasing layer height. I still think that's a good idea. Yeah, the first couple that I did some TikTok live streams because TikTok live just was like, oh, I'll just throw it up on TikTok. And that was, you know, it's not saved like this one is. And I thought, oh, if I completely fail on it, it'll just go away on TikTok. And that somebody said, it'd be cool to see the nozzle, the filament. And so I threw it in the back. So even though it pulls it around the corner, it's definitely fun. All right, I'm going to figure out what to do next. Thank you all for joining this very huge nozzle experience. And I will see you next time. I actually am going to have some real content other than just a print happening soon. Thank you all.